So I recently got my hands on the Voyager class Nexus Prime. And like most fans, I was kind of disappointed with what we got. I was really hoping that Nexus Prime would resemble the Age of the Prime's concept art somewhat and not just be kind of a plain looking Voyager. I was really hoping for him to be at least Commander class and be able to combine, maybe come with his limbs or something. And then when it got revealed that we're just going to get a Voyager class, I was like, oh, I don't know how they can make this work, but they made this work with Amalgamus, so there's a chance this could be cool. We'll have to wait and see. Sure enough, I was wrong. I think the Nexus Prime is kind of lame. When you sit him next to the other 13 primes, I think his colors are a little bit bright. He doesn't blend in the best. And his head is more based upon Transformers 1, which I think is fine. But all in all, he just gives off kind of a basic-looking Transformer. His alt mode is pretty lackluster. And the most redeeming feature isn't even on the box anywhere. Like the fact that he can combine with Superion and likely Bruticus. I'm not sure if he can combine with Menasor, but he can combine with the Superion torso and the Onslaught, and the Bruticus torso, which is cool, and the combined mode head is really good. But that's not even on the box. And kids who see that on the store might have no idea. They might not buy the figure because they might think he just looks like a basic Transformer, and then they're not going to see the ability he has to combine with existing figures. So I think that's a missed opportunity. I know that there's an argument where they don't want to advertise stuff on the box, saying kids have to buy other figures. I get that, but I think it should be included that it can combine with Commander class figures. Anyway, the fandom seemed pretty split on it at first. Some people have come around, some people still hate it. I am in the camp where I accept it, but I'm also disappointed. I think they could have done better with it. So after all of the online discourse, the Hasbro designer team has said, don't worry, we are going to release limbs for Nexus Prime so you guys don't have to worry. We will make up for this release and we will make Nexus Prime cooler in 2027. We have no idea how they're going to do that. We saw a post from Mark Marr on Instagram that had one of the aerial bots as an arm, one Blast Off as another arm, Brawl as a leg, Vortex as another limb. So we have these 4 limbs here. And if you're not sure who Nexus Prime is, you'll know that he has 4 limbs. 1 is a helicopter, 2 are jets, and 1 is a tank. If we compare that to Transformers listings we have for 2027, the first wave of 2027, we were told that the first wave of 2027 is actually going to be a wave extension of Age of the Prime. So Age of the Prime was supposed to end at the end of 2026. It's being extended into the first wave of 2027. And we have 3 deluxes that coincidentally match up with the images that Mark Marr showed and match up with the alt modes of the limbs of Nexus Prime. So that would be Skyguard, Breakaway, Alpha Bravo, and a Voyager class Guzzle. Which begs the question, is that post that Mark Marr made actually showing the molds that Hasbro intends to release to go along with this Nexus Prime? And if so, how are we going to get the Combiner torso and the Combiner limbs to plug these characters onto? Or will we have to use parts of Superion and parts of Onslaught to combine this? Because in my ideal world, we would get our Nexus Prime, and then we would also get a torso piece, the limbs to put to combine Nexus Prime with that match Nexus Prime, and then we would get each individual Limbot in Nexus Prime colors, again, to combine with Nexus Prime. So then you can have on your shelf a unified combiner, all red and blue, Nexus Prime, and you don't have to take pieces off of Superion or Bruticus, so you can just have another combiner in your collections, plain and simple. But what I'm guessing is Skyguard, who knows what he's going to look like. He could have the Nexus Prime colors, as well as Breakaway. Breakaway could also have the Nexus Prime colors. But Alpha Bravo is most likely going to be the Combiner Wars version, where it's white with a little bit of orange, a little bit of blue. And it's not going to match that Nexus Prime color scheme. Same with Guzzle. Like Guzzle is going to be green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of grayish white. So unless Guzzle and Alpha Bravo are totally different colors to match Nexus Prime, which then I don't think it would make a lot of sense, because why release a new Alpha Bravo and why release a new Guzzle if they're not going to look like Alpha Bravo and Guzzle? Skyguard has the exception because we're not sure, and Breakaway has been used for so many characters. So looking at this, we're going to have Skyguard and Breakaway. I think one of these will use an aerial bot leg mold. So one of the aerial bot legs, you can pick whichever one you'd like better. The other one will be using Blast Off as an arm, the Blast Off mold from Bruticus. And then Alpha Bravo, everybody knows who Alpha Bravo is. That will obviously be an arm, and it will be using the Vortex mold. And then Guzzle will be using the Brawl mold and become a leg. I don't know what Hasbro's doing. I would prefer a Guzzle that looks like Guzzle and an Alpha Bravo that looks like Alpha Bravo. The other two, I don't really care. I wouldn't mind if they were Nexus Prime colored. But then this begs the question, how do these characters go together? Do I have to rip my Superion apart to combine him and my Bruticus apart? Because if Guzzle is the Brawl mold, then you'll need one of Bruticus's legs, one of Superion's legs, and then the arms don't really matter. You could take either Superion's or Bruticus's arms and use them for the new characters. But then you have two incomplete combiners. Your Superion will be missing a leg, and your Bruticus will be missing a leg and two arms. I don't know what's going on unless Hasbro releases a Hasbro Pulse exclusive that's like just the combiner parts for Nexus Prime, or it's a Commander Class Nexus Prime with the parts. I just don't know. And I think Hasbro dropped the ball on Nexus Prime originally, and then they knew that they did, and then after all of the fan backlash, they knew that they messed up. They knew they had to give fans more, and now they just kind of scrambled. They threw darts at the wall, and they're like, okay, we're going to repaint these figures, give everybody their Nexus Prime limbs, make them happy. But it begs the question, are these going to look good combined with Nexus Prime? And how are we going to get the Nexus Prime combiner limbs? Like, please, Hasbro, I'm dying to know. I know this is a ways away, but I'm dying to know. And then by the time this stuff comes out, Nexus Prime will be long gone. Like, Nexus Prime is out now in spring of 2026. By the time 2027 rolls around, he's going to be out of production for a while. So does that mean we should expect a packaging refresh of Nexus Prime in 2027? Like I said, will there be a new Commander Class Nexus Prime in 2027 as a store exclusive or a Gen Select? So it's just making my head hurt. The whole Nexus Prime situation, I think, is pretty disappointing. Yes, I bought him. Yes, I'm a sucker. I shouldn't have bought him, but it completes my primes. I don't think he's that bad. I just think he's a little generic. And I wish he came with his own limbs and his own torso. But that's all I have to say for this video. Do you guys like Nexus Prime? Do you think I'm overreacting? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you.